I thought that she was going to be dead, and I was kind of upset because I was like, they killed her already.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't Kamala Khan, but okay, like, why? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving into episode number 52 here today.
Finally.
As usual, I'm joined by the homie Jake.
Yo, what up?
How you doing, man?
What up?
What up?
What up?
We go see Scary Movie?
Yeah. Just Budweiser commercials from the early 2000s, late 90s.
Right. Man, we went to go see Miss Marvel. Not
Yeah,
Miss Marvel.
not Miss Marvel.
The Marvels.
Yeah. With Miss Marvel in it.
Yes, with Miss Marvel in it. Captain Marvel. All the Marvels.
And Professor Marvel. What were they calling her?
I don't know at this point. I don't know. Part of the X-Men. Whoa.
Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, where do you want to jump off on this one? This one snuck up on us a little bit.
It did. It snuck up. We didn't get to go the day of release like we usually do.
Yeah.
We're kind of a day behind. Well, technically, it came out today.
Well,
Technically.
it came out yesterday.
Yeah, but we... Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, 'cause today's Saturday.
Man, I am so thrown off. Everything's been so hectic and crazy lately. I'm just like, why am I on Friday? I work on Fridays. I didn't work today. What the heck? Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, we went to go see The Marvels.
Yeah, because I thought this was delayed with everything going on, and then it wasn't delayed, and then I thought it was maybe not going to happen, and then it was like, oh, it's this week. I was like, oh, okay, let's go.
This was one that I didn't think, honestly, was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, why would you push Craven versus this movie? In my opinion.
I mean, Craven is Sony, though, so...
True.
It is what it is, you know, because this is Marvel, or that's Marvel, Sony Marvel, however you want to decipher that.
Right.
But yeah, I want to start with the previews because we finally see an Aquaman preview.
I didn't.
You didn't see one?
No, I didn't see one.
I had an
today.
Aquaman preview in mind.
I did see that they released another one, but
I was like, finally, we see some kind of like promotion for this movie that's almost exactly a month away.
Right? Yeah, we're like 4 weeks away from the release date, and now promo is coming out. I still haven't seen any toys.
Yeah, that trailer is really all I've seen for that movie, other than like some headlines about it, just kind of surrounding like the cast and stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Amber Heard's still in it.
Yeah. I saw an article last night though, because I thought I saw her in the preview, and then I saw an article last night saying that she wasn't going to be in it, or she was going to be limited, or I have no idea. I feel like
she only has like 5 minutes of screen time.
Right? Yeah, they cut out what they could, but I don't know. I feel like this is definitely one that we're going to find out on December 20th. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to have anything other than that.
Right. I am excited. For Aquaman. But we're kind of, I feel like with the Marvels, I liked the movie.
Oh, I liked it too.
I'll put it there. I liked it.
I think it did help going in. Everybody just like everything you saw about this, it's gonna suck. And then I'm like, this didn't suck at all. What do you mean?
Yeah,
you know what
I
mean?
wouldn't necessarily say that it sucked, but I think everybody is once again looking for those tie-ins.
Yeah, I think I don't want to get. Do you want to just do a rating right away and then we'll go from there? Because I feel like that's gonna be like heavy on this one.
Yeah, let's go for the rating. So what was your rating on the Marvels?
I was just gonna go straight 6 on this one.
Ooh,
like I was pretty neutral about it. Like, it wasn't a bad movie, wasn't a good movie. There was nothing that like threw me for a crazy loop. I can get into a little bit of like a confusing thing later, but yeah, 6. Like, I think it was like it didn't mean anything. Like, it wasn't like, other than maybe the end credit scene. But like it didn't further any other stories, you know. But it was a good movie. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I think it was just above 50%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I stand. I actually am five out of 10. Right,
Yeah.
right in the dead center. And
Yeah,
I'm
I was
one
like
that
6, 7.
usually, yeah, I'm usually one that's just like I got to give it above halfway. But this one, it like you had just said, it definitely I sat kind of right in the middle of it. There were parts that I really really did like
Yeah.
of the movie. Um, with that being said, my favorite character of the whole movie was now I'm drawing a blank. Start with a G. The cat.
Oh, Goose.
Goose. There it is.
Yeah, yeah. I actually think my favorite character was Miss Marvel. I think
Kamala Khan.
she tied so many things together. Um, I I mean, getting right into it, I think she her arc was so good,
Mm-hmm.
where like she started as just like the super fan girl, coming from the Miss Marvel series, in love with Captain Marvel. But then throughout the movie, you could see that tie breaking and them kind of becoming more peers. And then,
See, I almost felt like I wanted it to break sooner because about halfway through the movie, I feel like it was still happening with her like fanboyish attitude towards Captain Marvel,
but I mean, like she's
and I was
young,
like,
like it's not just
come
gonna
on,
happen overnight. You know what I mean? But you
true,
do see like that happen almost till the end, where like Captain Marvel almost like gives her respect, and almost like the flip of the beginning, you know.
yeah,
And then I had a lot of respect that like even until that last fight, like you could see her stumbling, you could see her, you know, she didn't just become like this great superhero right away. You know, that was she was making decisions with her heart instead of like as a superhero you have to kind of weigh the good and the bad, and you know, and she was making those decisions, and you could see her kind of like becoming that superhero but also like dealing with um that experience, the lack of experience as a superhero. So like
yeah.
that was, I think she just had such a good evolution through the movie. And I was like, even with the like the training montage where they were training their abilities to switch, like
Right,
I just really appreciated that they had that, and it wasn't like, okay, we can switch our abilities and now they're great at it. You know what I mean?
right,
They
yeah,
had
and
to
it was like it
go,
was a struggle.
yeah, they had to go through and they had to train it, and they were using the jump ropes and catching things. And then even in that first fight on the water world, um,
They still
they
messed up.
still had struggles with it. But then by the
Yeah,
end, they were just clicking in it, and I think that was so cool.
yeah, they were flowing. They were definitely flowing. That was one thing that I definitely thought stood out about this movie was um like the action, the combat scenes.
Oh yeah,
I I loved it. I'm always for the adrenaline pumping, fast paced movie with all the action going into it. I think that's why I like Black Adam so much, just because it was so in your face the whole time. But I was actually really noticing because I've been trying to pay attention and watch them from a little bit of a different angle to because I always see that you notice a lot of CG things right away. You notice some framing things like that,
hmm,
and I'm like, man, I wish I would have just even. I don't watch movies like that, you know. So I've been kind of trying to do that a little bit more because we do this podcast.
right. Well, I think
Um,
like talking about the fight scenes, that first fight scene where they had no idea what was happening. Like I thought that was such a fun fight scene to watch. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like the little jabs of like comedy from like her family, and like being like in,
get home.
Miss Marvel being in a fight with Captain Marvel, but still being like in love with Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel's in her house, but she's never in the house when she's there.
Right.
But then like still just like there it was like a good fight scene, and like the effects looked cool, and you know, like it was just a fun scene to watch.
It
Like
definitely.
the action was fun, the comedy was kind of in a perfect spot, and yeah, I don't know. I just liked it, I guess. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It definitely it had a good aesthetic. The one thing that I feel like I'm noticing, and because I was trying to pay attention to CG, and I don't think the CG was bad in this movie
Hmm.
at all. I think there might have been a couple cats here and there that could have probably looked a little bit better. Maybe one or two frames in a fight scene that I was like, I could tell. But
Right.
with that being said, I think the problem is now that first off, CG is meant to look just hyper realistic, just so much like 10 times better than reality, or that's its intent. And now I think that that Hollywood in general and Marvel are shooting with these cameras because cameras and camera lenses are constantly evolving and getting better and better. That we have such a clear image that is so much better than what the human eye even sees. That it almost makes it hard to now mix media like that and have animations and CG going with these super clear lenses and
Yeah.
framing. You
I
know,
think
I don't know if that's like an issue because what I was noticing, I was like, this looks like they went to Disneyland, took an iPhone, filmed the fight scene, and put really good CG on it. But I was like, it's obviously looks better than that, but
I think it looks a
that
lot better
was
than that.
that was kind of like my thought. I was like, this looks like they took no effort in some of the tighter closed rooms, and they literally made a room for them to fight in. And I
Hmm.
feel like that kind of stood out to me because it was real versus when they used green screen.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's what made it feel so real, was like that looks like they're really in that room, versus Quantumania, or when they weren't in the room flying through the sky and all these different cities and stuff like that, because a lot of that was green screen and I forget what it's called now, the other screen.
Oh yeah, the volumes.
Volumes, that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel like this is one that I'd be really curious to see like a special effects breakdown, and I mean we'll hopefully get it on Disney Plus. Like I always go and watch like the what is it
Assembled.
called? Yeah, the Assembled, because
Yeah.
I feel like that was with now I can't remember. Oh, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And you kind of watch those assembled and you kind of realize like, oh, this was real. I thought this was fake, and this is fake and I thought it was real, 'cause stuff like that. And
Because I feel like that's because the cameras look so good
yeah, and it's
that it's hard to make the CG look that good now.
it's almost just crazy. But like I think CG, obviously CG has to look good and stuff like that. I think you just have to see it, and as long as it's not like completely jarring, like I think it's okay. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
'Cause I mean, realistically, like we don't really know. You know what I mean? What's real and what's not, and that's the idea. Because I mean, even look at the Flash. Most of that scene was fake with the babies,
Hmm.
but the scene looks fine. It's the babies that are jarring. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's something like that like you see the babies and it completely destroys the whole scene for you, but you're not even realizing like how good the environment looks around them. Like that's also CG and that's also really well done, but it's the babies that are screwed up. There's a I know you didn't see it, but there's a scene from the Aquaman trailer. And I mean, I think that was something that kind of like set the tone for me, because there's a part in there where Jason Momoa like has to knock this big thing down and he runs at it and bumps it, and it falls over, and it just looks so bad. Like the movement speed, like the way everything collides and tips over, it was like, why did they like why did they do it like that? That looks like the last minute change, like somebody didn't like the color of something so they had to fix everything. I don't know what it was, but
Right. I think we're
then
seeing a
going in
trend with DC.
then going into going into the Marvels, I was like, this looks pretty awesome. Like the parts where Monica is in her powers and separated from her body, like
Hmm.
all that looked really good. Like the
Yeah.
transparent person around the like that's something I feel like that's not super simple to do. I mean, there's obviously tips and tricks and things that you can do to make it easy, but it's like there's a moving thing over, I don't know. That's probably way harder than getting a guy to run at something and knock it over. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just like,
I guess it
don't
really just, like you said, depends on how long they had to do it.
yeah, I don't know.
It seems like
Um,
DC is always kind of throwing in those last minute changes.
but
What I
even
did notice was
even
that the
things like
CG list was so long.
the water, like the water going up into the time jump portal or whatever. Like
Yeah.
water's not like super easy to do. Like that looked pretty awesome. Like the 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 scroll encampment or whatever, like that place falling apart, like those collisions looked really good. Like
Hmm.
a lot of it just looked really good compared to what I feel like we've been getting from Marvel and DC. So
Hmm.
I mean, I can't really knock the CG in this movie too much, you know?
I can't, but that's where I guess my comparison kind of comes in from. It's just the blend of it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like now I don't know if it's just because I was looking, for it, but like um when they do CG in Iron Man 1 and in like the first few Marvel movies, they were obviously still shooting in like 1080.
Yeah. Probably,
Resolution
yeah.
wasn't as good. I felt like the blend of technology and physical effects were smoother. And now I feel like it's so bright, so vibrant, so cutting that you can I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not that it's bad at all, because I think this was definitely the best looking Marvel movie that we've gotten this year. Period.
I have
Besides
to like
across the Spider
remember.
Verse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Sony again. So
Yeah,
isn't it Sony or is it somebody else? I
that
think
one's
it's Sony.
it's Sony, but it's in association with Marvel, and
Right. Yeah.
they're doing things with it. They're doing things with it.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think I might be. I really liked Quantum Mania. Just like I think that was one issue that I had with this movie, and it's not even like an issue. It's like a personal preference kind of thing. When she went to that place where she was the princess or whatever, and she married the prince, I was like, so ready to see like a civilization of like weird looking something, like something completely crazy, like not just people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
and we
this
got a
is
Disney musical.
like I don't even mind that. Like that's cool that they at least they made it different from just people. You know what I mean? Because this is a civilization that we don't know, we've never seen before. Like you could have literally made it anything, and you just made it people. Like that was like my thing. Like we just saw all these different like creatures and things from like Quantumania and all these other things, and then you have the civilization that you're going to a different planet that's covered in water, and you made it people.
Right.
Like I don't know, maybe like I said, that's not like a serious like this like that's not a serious thing. That's like a personal preference thing, because then if you made it like I don't know. I was just like that's like seemed like a missed opportunity to me. Like you could have made it something cooler, but
Right. Yeah, I get that. I didn't see. I mean, of course, it made it tie into the story, but I didn't see the point in that. It seemed that's the point in the movie where I spaced out.
right.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm over the music. I'm over the music. I was like, it sounds just like Frozen. Like I can tell that they hired the Disney songwriters. Like I'm done. I'm out of it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was cool. Like I said, I think you had to do something to not just make it normal people. Like if they just showed up and are just speaking English, like whatever.
mhm.
But I think the planet itself fit into the story really well. Like they went for the atmosphere, they went for the water, and then they were going for the sun. Like that, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Did you have like a favorite part of the movie?
I guess the first time that Goose did the tentacle thing
Yeah.
and the octopus came out of Goose.
Yeah, I was
Because
waiting for that. That was so funny.
how much of the series did you watch?
Of like the Miss Marvel series,
Yes.
I only watched a couple episodes.
Okay. I was gonna say I haven't watched any at all. I think I started the first episode and then I had to walk away and do something and I never ended up going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like a fresh for me for Miss Marvel for all three of them. I knew who Kamala Khan was, especially because they started writing her into the ASM line in the comics. ASM 26 just came out. We kind of talked about that a little bit. That was the death of Kamala Khan, and that
Yeah.
was, I feel like, my fear from the beginning. I was like, they're gonna kill her. They're gonna kill her. I know she's in the movie. They're gonna kill her, and I was like, this is happening so fast, and I'm very glad that they didn't because that is such a waste of a character at this point. Because I feel like what this movie did, even though I don't know how much it tied into the Marvel or Miss Marvel, and I don't know how much Miss Marvel actually tied into the MCU storyline, but they set up Kamala Khan fantastic, and I feel like that was this whole point of the movie. So if from the beginning is to set up Kamala Khan, they succeeded.
Well, I think it was to set up two things, right? Wasn't it to set up the X-Men crossover and the young Avengers or whatever?
Yeah, I feel like they could have with the new Avengers. Is it Young Avengers or
I
New
don't know.
Avengers?
Yeah, I don't know. I know I think it's called there's a whole group series called Marvel Rising on Disney. Like I think they go by a lot of different names, but yeah, I'm pumped about it.
Yeah, the first thing that popped in my head was the new Avengers. So I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know, but I know they have the Young Avengers, and it's hard to keep track of how many Avengers there are now.
Yeah, I mean they can just pick one and go with it. Whatever
at
name
this
they
at
want.
this
Yeah.
point, might as well. But the thing that I was after watching this movie, I was really happy that Kamala Khan got the setup that she did because I feel like she's gonna do very well in the MCU storyline.
Mhm.
It just confuses me because it kind of seems like DC is doing the same thing, trying to set up a new universe at the same time Marvel is doing it, but now they just re-sign Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. Why did I call him Tony Stark?
Yeah, I heard some rumors about that. I'm not super thrilled about, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
Um,
as well, the thing that I think is really cool and where they're going to start tying this in is they just also signed Tom Holland for 3 more Spidey movies.
mhm.
So this is can totally get into the Young Avengers or the New Avengers with Ms.
Yeah, I
Marvel,
mean,
Spider-Man.
I think it'd just be really cool because I mean, there's just so many different places they could go. You know, she ended the movie talking to what's her name, Haley Steinfeld or whatever. I don't know her name in the show anymore. The Hawkeye alternative.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'm forgetting it too.
yeah. Bullseye? No, not Bullseye. That's a Daredevil villain.
Hawkman. No, I'm joking.
Hawk girl. Yeah, but then they also have America from the Doctor Strange. And then I mean they could introduce Patriot if they wanted to, especially with everything going on with what's it called? Mr. America. Captain America. That's
Captain
what it is.
America,
Yeah. I
Mr.
feel like
America.
they could introduce a Patriot at some point.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ironheart. They have the Ironheart series that's supposed to be coming. We'll see if that ever happens.
I feel like that one's a bit on the fence.
I feel like there's just so many things that they're setting up that this could be a really cool, just group,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping we get a Squirrel Girl at some point because Squirrel Girl's always fun.
Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah. But yeah, Rising, that's basically the Rising, Marvel Rising or whatever on Disney. It's Miss Marvel, America. What is it? Is it America Chavez or whatever?
Yeah, America Chavez.
Patriot, Squirrel Girl. Like it's all those like younger ones. Spider Gwen. I would just really like to see something with that. I think it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. We're getting there. It seems like we're getting there. They're taking the steps to bring. It seems like a live action Miles and Gwen.
Yeah, I think it'd be super fun.
I know there was just a photo that went viral a little bit throughout the comic community that Emma Stone cut her hair and turned it blonde and has a total Gwen looking haircut right now, and everybody freaked out.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I love Emma Stone.
I think it'd be cool, but I don't think
Spider
that she can
Gwen.
pull it off anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's a little too old for like what they would want to do with Spider Gwen. I also like, I know it was Sony or whatever, but she's already been in a Spider-Man movie, so I really like don't want to see her in another Spider-Man movie. Like, let that Spider-Man movie be, kind of thing.
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't be upset if she was Spider Gwen, just because I do love her and I love the character. But
Right.
I just feel like that would just be a weird. I just don't. I feel like there's better.
A weird
options.
age for Gwen.
Yeah, there's better options.
Yeah, this is like mom Gwen. Like you could be Gwen's mom.
Gwen.
How about that? You know?
I don't know if she's that old.
Is she? I don't know, dude. I feel like she is.
Yeah, but I think she. I don't think. Oh, I mean, she could play that old. I feel like
My
it'd be
son's
easier for
almost
her to play.
5.
Yeah,
I feel like she can be that old.
But I mean, how old is Toby? How old is what's his name? Tom Holland.
Garfield? Tom Holland? He's
gotta be
probably
like 25.
25, 6.
Yeah,
Something
And
around there.
She's probably like my age, so like 10 years.
No, she's not your age. She's older. No way.
She's not.
No
You're
way,
gonna-
dude.
you're
She's.
gonna destroy
I
my
almost can
childhood.
guarantee that she's late 30s, could possibly be early 40s.
Okay.
She's been around for a while.
I feel a lot better because I'm right. You're wrong.
Really?
You almost destroyed my entire childhood, bro. Growing up with Emma Stone and no, I don't. I honestly don't even remember the first time that I saw Emma Stone. But yeah, she's 35.
Zombieland. I do.
She's 35, so
Oh, I guess she's not. She's okay. Yeah, she's not that
she's.
old. But
I have so many tabs open now.
it wouldn't have surprised me if they were like 41, though. It wouldn't. It wouldn't have.
Yeah, she's like 7 months older than me.
Yeah. There you go.
Nailed it.
Almost shared a birthday
Almost sure.
by like 6 months off.
So close. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think she'd be mom, but I don't think. Oh yeah, Super Bad. Super Bad is the first time I saw her.
Yeah, probably one of those two. It was either Superbad or Zombieland, one of the two.
But yeah, back to the Marvels. I'd be super excited if they do something like that. It seems like they want to. Did you have a least favorite part of the movie, or was it the singing for you?
The singing. Yeah, it was 100%
Really?
the
That was
musical.
the worst part.
Yeah, that was absolutely 100% the worst part, especially when I had finally kind of come to terms with it. And I was just like, okay, they're going to sing for this entire scene, and they're going to talk in song for this entire scene. And by the end of it, I'm going to be so mad that they were singing the whole time. I'm not going to actually be able to hear what they're talking about.
I feel like I know what you're about to say, and I loved it.
And then he started talking normally.
That was so funny, dude.
Dude, I was so upset. And then everybody understood him. Everybody just started talking normally for the rest of the whole scene, the fight and everything. And I'm like, okay.
No, he was bilingual, dude. I thought it was funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
They didn't talk
but-
the rest of the scene. That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
No, there was that whole like meeting when what's her face? The main. Why am I forgetting it now? The main protagonist,
Yeah, I don't remember.
Purple Hammer Girl.
Yeah, Purple Hammer Girl.
Where
PHG.
yeah, they were like total 300 style with both of their armies talking to each other, and then they went charge, and they all charged at each other.
I just thought it was funny. I don't know.
Oh my god! I had enough of the Disney musical. I was like, I didn't come here for this. Like,
I love Disney musicals. It's one of my favorite movie genres, so I'm here
are you
for it.
serious?
Yeah, dude, I love it. Give me an animated Disney musical, dude.
That's
Best
different.
movies ever.
That's different.
Is it though?
This is a
Because
Marvel movie.
half of the movie was animated. Marvel is owned by Disney, and they were singing. How different is it?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Now, how do you feel?
I feel like I could have lived without the whole singing thing.
Yeah, because if they would have made them cooler than just people, they wouldn't have had to make them singing.
I would have liked the movie that much more if it would have got rid of the singing. I was like, what the heck is this? Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
So I feel like we have the same like least favorite moment of the movie, but for completely different reasons.
Because it didn't. I guess it's kind of for the same reason. It didn't really do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, them singing, like them not being something cooler than humans, didn't change the movie for me at all. Like them singing didn't change the movie for me at all. Could have taken or left it, but like for you, you're like, I hate the movie because.
It's just it's like I don't know. I just feel why would you do? You're asking for the heat from it at that
Yeah,
point. Like it
that's
just
true.
doesn't seem like
I feel
like
like that is gonna be like, but if everybody complains about that one scene of the movie, they're not talking crap about the rest of the movie. So
well, I feel like that's
they
the
just
goal.
put a
So make one really bad scene intentionally, so the
yeah,
rest of your movie's
yeah,
kind of high. Like
yeah, like they just put a bullseye on that one scene, so that everybody just is blind to all the other issues in the movie.
right, yeah, yeah. One of those situations that they're praying for a viral moment, and a memeable moment out of it, but it's so stupid that nobody actually probably wants to meme it.
But I bet the kids like that part. I feel like kids would like that part.
I think that's when my son tapped out too.
Your son's like, Daddy, what the?
Yeah. When they were fighting, he was into it. When they were fighting,
Yeah.
he's glued, dude. But
Yeah.
then anytime there were any slight dialogue, he's out of it and he's moving.
Yeah. I feel like that was like the let it go part of the movie. Like the let it go, and then it just like, oh, this is the singing part that all the girls who came to the movie are gonna love. But I think there's an alarm going off outside. But yeah, I don't think like other than that, I don't think there was really a part that I didn't like. Like there was I kind of expected once you kind of saw that all those pink eggs were Goose's eggs and they were about to hatch a bunch of cats, like you kind of knew the plan was to get everybody eaten by the cats, and I was like ready for it, and I was just loving that part.
That part made me crack up. I was
Yeah.
dying. And then the announcer coming over the
Stop
loudspeaker.
running.
Yeah,
Please
let the cats eat you.
Yeah, that
I was like,
so
oh
funny.
my God. That part got me. That part got me rolling. I was cracking up. And then the other part that I was laughing pretty hard about was when they first started teleporting to
Yeah.
where each other were and switching each other's spots. Because she told Kamala Khan totally came back down to Earth and was like, I was in space and that. And it was like, Mom didn't believe her. She's like, you're lying.
Yeah. Stop lying, Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop lying. I thought the part where Captain Marvel flew off, and then they switched. So Kamala Khan is falling back down to Earth, and then somebody hits the ground, and Samuel Jackson's like, "Oh, cool, it's Carol."
Yeah. Oh, it's just Carol. All right.
I was laughing, dude.
You
Oh,
better learn to fly right now, or Kamala's not going to see graduation day.
yeah. But I think that was another part. Like she kind of struggled with flying throughout the whole movie, and then when it came time for her to make that that flight to the jump portal, like, that's when she finally did it right. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
just going back to I feel like there were really cool storylines and evolutions and arcs throughout this movie. You know, all singing aside, I think like overall good movie.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
That's why I just went like that 1 point over half.
Right.
Um, but yeah, talking to you makes me want to just give it a 7 because you just make the funny part sound even funnier. The good part seem even better.
Oh boy. See, I don't know. It wasn't a bad movie, but this is
Yeah,
the first one that I'm like pretty neutral about. The thing that I feel like is gonna make it better is what they do
with it.
with X-Men and what they
Yeah,
do with Deadpool.
I mean, well, let's get into the ending credit scene. Then was that were you expecting that, or was that a
No.
surprise for you?
It was funny because I wasn't expecting them to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
But as as her eyes like turned white and went all white, and like the electricity and her powers were kind of swirling around her as she went to fly out to fix like
Mm-hmm.
the hole in the space-time
Yeah,
continuum. uh at that moment was when I was like, that looks like a Storm reference,
yeah,
that looks like an X-Men reference. And then I was like, is she gonna go back to her timeline or something like that, or go to a different, or go in this timeline, and then, oh, she's Storm, and like that's how we're gonna get her. I'm like, what is going on here? Like what's gonna happen? And that was kind of, it was making the X-Men wheels turn
really?
in my head for sure, but I didn't think they were actually gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
just kind of
then,
thought we were gonna get like something Miss Marvel where she's looking for her. You know what I mean? I didn't think we were gonna get like kind of a conclusion to that right away.
right, I thought that she was gonna be dead, and I was kind of upset because I was like, they killed her already.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't Kamala Khan, but okay, like why?
yeah,
And then to find out that they didn't, and there wasn't a lot of people, because I went at an early show this morning,
mm-hmm.
but there was like probably 8 people behind me, and Beast popped up on the screen, and the whole theater went
Yeah.
all at once. I looked over at Nicole, and she goes, and she like looks at me like he's freaking out, isn't he? And yeah, I freaked out.
Yeah, I was pumped about it. I like X-Men stuff. It's
I
always
like Beast. I like
exciting to me.
Wolverine.
Yeah. How did you feel about Beast? I feel like I've heard
The
some
CG was
things.
off. That's all. I looked
also
at it. I was like so hyped, and it literally, I did it at the same time as everybody, and went and I heard it from behind me, and I was like, oh shit, they were still here. They're watching it.
I feel like it just didn't bother me at all. Like it's an end credit scene. It doesn't matter. It's like 2 minutes. Like whatever. Like I got Beast. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. He was. I mean, obviously it was a big deal, and I feel like who were you going to have? Like Beast is like that. Like I mean, you're not going to have Wolverine in that situation. That's a perfect situation for Beast, and you see Beast, and you're already instantly you're like X-Men. This is X-Men. She's
Mm-hmm.
with the X-Men. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't care that the CG wasn't like perfect. Like it did exactly what it needed to do for
Exactly.
2 minutes of screen time. Made me super excited. There are people that think it is going to link into the Deadpool stuff, but Deadpool just got delayed again, so who knows when we'll
What?
ever find out. Yeah, Marvel is falling apart. So
Oh, figures.
well, those are the things that we could talk about, but this is a movie podcast about this specific movie. Next week we'll talk about some things that are going on with Riot Games and movies, Marvel's implosion. There's some stuff going on in DC, so definitely come back and check that out. But overall, Marvel's not a bad movie.
Not a bad movie.
I feel like that's the perfect sum up of like the Marvels. Not bad. You know what I mean?
Well, we got a movie, or we got a thumbnail. Not a bad movie.
Not a bad movie. The Marvels, not a bad movie.
Right? Not a bad one.
I
Don't
don't
say it was
yeah.
good. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
I don't think
It,
by
it,
any means it was like the best movie ever. I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't think it was just not a bad movie. It's a good movie,
I
you
think,
know?
yeah, like I said, I think it just steps up that next stepping stone, especially for Kamala Khan, which is where I feel like a lot of their focus is going to start leading to.
Yeah. And I feel like this is one that I feel like the movie was perfect for it. Like
Hmm.
I don't think this would have fit a show very well. I
Hmm.
think the runtime of it was pretty perfect. Like I didn't really get too bored, but like I got everything that I needed out of the story. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't this is not something I would want 8 episodes of. This is perfect for that. And I feel like it's almost flipped in my mind now where it's like this is what I want to see in a movie. You want a big story, you want a big thing, like give me a show. Give me 8, 10 episodes of it.
Right? Yeah. Give me 8 hours of content versus an hour and a half.
Yeah. Like
Agreed. Agreed.
Loki's I you know, as somebody who had talked about like I understand Loki season 1 was good, but it wasn't really for me, like I'm loving Loki season 2. Super good. Maybe people don't agree with me, but
I need to start watching it, especially because I felt like they made references to it, and I felt like it could be tying in just because of the scrolls.
yeah, that was one thing I guess I can touch on is and it wasn't even an issue with this movie. It was just kind of an issue with Secret Invasion just coming out right before this and that being a whole Skrull thing and then the Skrulls being a part of this with Samuel L. Jackson in the movie. Like those two just kind of contradict each other, so I didn't love that.
That's what I
But
was wondering because I didn't. I like I said, I didn't get to stay up to date on Secret Invasion and stuff. I felt like they were trying to tie these things in, but I just didn't understand where they were, and I don't even think at that point that it was that essential of a tie-in.
yeah, because in Secret Invasion, the Skrulls are already on like they're on Earth and there's like a war between the Skrulls and Samuel L. Jackson fighting for humans.
Right.
And then on this one, like they're trying to save the Skrulls on a different planet. Like what? But like immediately in my head, I was like, Secret Invasion was Secret Invasion. Like I feel like that's it. Like that's it.
Yeah,
Put
that's the mission.
wrap
There it
that up,
is.
put it in a package, ship it off until it comes back, and like that. Just assume it might not
Right.
pertain to anything, even though it's the same characters and the same story and the same everything. But yeah, like once I kind of like was able to like put that aside, like that was like my one real big complaint. But like I said, it has nothing to do with the Marvels and everything to do with Secret Invasion. I liked Secret Invasion. I liked the story. I know a lot of people hated that it wasn't like the comics and it wasn't this and it wasn't that. I'm like I just said, I feel like it's a show. That's a show for itself. Like that's like in this weird pocket of whatever Marvel's doing with that. Like
Hmm.
but yeah, Loki's cool. I feel like it's safe to say like Loki could just tie into anything it wants to just because it interacts with every timeline in the universe. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
A lot of people said that wasn't that great either, but I'm also seeing a lot of people um, kind of defending it and being like, "No, this was actually good. I'm really enjoying it."
yeah. I think uh I think the story is way more interesting this season than it was last season, but
Hmm.
that's also like I'm also really liking this one coming from somebody who wasn't like a huge fan of the last one. I know like people put the first season on such a pedestal already that, you know, I don't think anything would have come from Loki season 2 that people would have been excited about, you know.
Right.
But yeah,
Who knows? Who knows?
right on.
Alrighty, man.
Anything
I
else to
think
say about the Marvels?
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. You got to give it a 6 out of 10.
I did, yes.
I think
Yes.
this is the first time that you're actually grading something higher than me.
No, no,
I feel like
no,
I'm
no.
very
Turtles. I was higher than you.
Were you?
Yeah, because I was a 10.
Oh, you
and
know
were a
what?
9.
You're right. You're right. And the only reason I docked it was because Mikey didn't say cowabunga. But he said it. He said it apparently, but he didn't say it enough.
And
So-
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm willing to bet that I graded Quantumania higher than you.
Maybe you did.
I would.
Because you really like that movie.
I don't know if I'd say really liked I liked elements of it a lot.
Trying to save your booty.
I mean, there's literally an hour-long episode that you can go find out exactly what I said.
Right.
But
we're going to have to rewatch it now because we're like, I don't even remember.
I'm going to have to rewatch Quantumania now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like Quantumania. But I also think that kind of sits right in that section of like stuff that you're not really a fan of if it's not like perfect, you know what I mean? Like the whole who's the guy Paul Rudd, the whole Paul Rudd thing, you know, you're not like super keen on that. He didn't wear his helmet enough, so that kind of docked it 7 points for you.
Dude, I'm always like that. I'm like, he wasn't in his suit enough. He looked
Miss
like a
Marvel
normal
didn't
person.
put her helmet on like hardly at all, so
She didn't have her helmet. I mean, she does, but she don't.
when she went to reignite the sun, she had it on. I kind of don't
Because it got a little
that.
hot.
Yeah, I don't like the masked helmet thing. I'd rather just see her without it, but
I'd rather see Superman, but
you know who didn't put their mask on the entire movie?
Superman.
Miss
No, I'm
Marvel.
joking. Yeah.
Miss Marvel didn't put. She like talked about it at the beginning. She's like, I don't have my mask.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
She just never had it.
That is true. And then she took the scarf and was all like Catwoman with it.
Yeah.
That was actually really kind of cool. I thought it was cool because I was like, really? At first I was like, really? Why did they make that part of her suit? Because she can't use her powers now, so they had to give her something. Use your scarf. And then I was like, what a gimme. And then she was actually kind of cool with it. And I was like,
Yeah. And then she
Okay.
used her powers a little bit and was like parkouring with a scarf whip.
yeah. I was like, okay, it's actually kind of cool.
I thought it was funny when he's like, use your scarf, and she does it once, and she's like, what?
Yeah, and then she's the master at it.
She's like, how does this thing work? And then she just does it. Oh, yeah. All right, man. If nothing else to say, be sure to check out our links for free money on things like Whatnot. Use our link to sign up for Whatnot. Get 10% or $10. $10 to spend anywhere on Whatnot. Get to 10% on w.gg. Jitters Energy. Use code Collective Comics at checkout. And until next time, this has been Collective Comics.
We'll see y'all.